Hi friends, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rainbows, and today we're making this awesome, barely dressed beach gnome with a cute little outie belly button. If you would like to make him, just stick around. As always, please give this video a like so I know you're here crafting with me. Now this cutie does not stand up, but he sure sits well. He's 11.5 inches long. He is made with the bubble body gnome pattern, and yesterday I shared how to make all of his accessories. We're going to start with a nude colored fleece, a 2-inch ball, something for the nose, which I made, a concave button, a drink floaty, and some fabulous faux fur. Because we're using the bubble gnome pattern, just click that link down below to get that. We're going to assemble and fill this no-sew pattern. And then after the weight, but before the stuffing, we're going to pop in the 2-inch foam ball. We're going to add stuffing around it to sort of even everything out. I get asked a lot about how much stuffing to use. Squeeze it, and if it pops back out to its original size and shape, guess what? That's enough stuffing. There you go. Squeezy, squeezy. All right. Make a little tiny circle to go around your little tiny concave button, and then all we're going to do is wrap around. It doesn't matter what the back looks like. You're going to want to cut off any excess, there you go, excess little pokey bits, and then you're just going to glue them to his little tum-tums. For his legs, I'm going to cut 3-inch wide by 9-inch long rectangles, and I am going to glue them. Simple on the long edge, right? And do the other one. After they are dry, we're going to flip them out, and then we're going to stuff them in stages, okay? So I'm going to make a knee. You want the seam to be at the bottom, and you're going to tuck in about, I don't know, 1/4 inch at the top and glue it down. You can use the pre-made Dollar Tree rollers. You are going to just have to add a little stuffing for the knee, but you can definitely use them. You're also going to have to add a little fabric at the bottom for the foot, because we are making the foot out of this exact piece. So we're going to stuff the thigh portion up here at the top. We're going to cut a thin gauge wire, and we're going to tab down the tops. Just roll them down a little bit so they don't poke anybody or poke out. Tuck that down in, and then you're securing that at the top. We will secure it at the bottom as well. All right, just don't squish that top together, right? We want it to be nice and full. All right, so now that that is on, we're going to add a bit of stuffing just for the quote knee area. So you're going to add a quite bit of stuffing to make it dense, and you can see how the knee is forming here. See that? It's just a subtle little difference. You don't have to do it. This is just a suggestion. All right, and then we're going to stuff the bottom and leave about 1.5 inches at the bottom, maybe even 2 inches that is unstuffed. So you can roll that in between your fingers to distribute the polyfill, and then flip down that foot. So that's what's going to make our foot. You can see me, I'm sort of spreading that out because that's where we're going to glue it together after splitting each of the toes. And this is what it's going to look like, but with a foot. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and do this for the second leg, and just make sure they're evenish. You know, you have a little bit of wiggle room down in the foot area. So mine is too long. I had to cut off one side, or just a little bit of one side of the foot. So here I am starting the foot. I am pressing the fleece together. There's no stuffing in here, but there is a bit of wire that goes all the way down into the big toe. I'm going to cut little slits to form each of the toes. I counted, but you can do 3 toes. It's a gnome. You know, I've never seen a gnome's foot. Have you? Go get those finger guards because hot glue is hot. Squeeze that toe after you pull the other ones away from it, because you want to make sure you're not gluing the toes together. So you can see I will actually cut through there because I had a little bit of glue. But once you have the toe squished together, you're just going to round it off. So there you go. Now I have no glue there. All right, and then you're just going to split away the rest of the ones that are, you know, like the next 3 digits, and then you're just going to glue a little bit, secure it by pressing it together, and then trimming it. That's it. You do that for all of your toes. Just make sure that you don't glue the toes together, because, I mean, you could make a webbed foot gnome. That would be, you know, your choice. All right, again, I have to keep counting this because I get confused on how many toes I have. All right, so I'm going to speed this part up because you're literally just doing the same thing. Take your time and probably use a smaller pair of scissors than I used. But here you go, one leg is done. Make the other one, again, similar in size. And now we're going to make some arms. So you can see his little thumb there if you want to do it the way I did. Great. If not, that's okay too. Use a wooden ball, a felt ball, or a ball you make out of the same matching fabric. Once you have that glued, make sure you're leaving the very end unglued because we need it to splay. No, we need it to fan out for our thumb. So once you add a little bit of stuffing, you can start. I would not recommend doing this, by the way. I would recommend gluing first and then trimming. I tried to trim it beforehand. Nay, doesn't work. The other thing I would say about the fingers specifically is that I cut them the same depth as the toes, which was odd. So just make sure that you're cutting them a little longer. So you can see I'm going back in and making the slits a bit longer. So it looked quite odd. But we're going to make them the exact same way. We cut off our wire, we fold down the ends. Now I did tuck the wire into the thumb and I secured that there with glue so that I could kind of do a thumbs up if I wanted later. I don't know. All right, so just glue that in, tucking that wire and securing it down by squishing it in between your fingers. Once that is all secure, we're going to oh, it's not secure yet. There you go. Because it's a little bit longer than the toes. Once it's secure, we're going to do the exact same thing and trim all of our little square edges into rounded ones. See? Ta-da! Okay. Now I will say that getting these two hands even, it's just a little bit tricky, but there you go. I can move the thumb, I can move the arm and position it. So I just pin those arms in place. Now I shared yesterday, and I'll link it below, the video to make the hat and the shorts and the flip-flops. So once you have the shorts made, you're gonna just tuck them on and just make sure you're gonna secure the inside so it fits your legs, and then you're just gonna glue the legs on first. Once those are secure, you can scooch your little shorts on the rest of the way. I added a little bit of hot glue in back so that they wouldn't fall down while he's on the river, y'all. All right, you can see his little beer belly hanging out. I crack myself up. Okay, so we're securing down the arms at the top and bending it so his arms or his hands are resting on his beer belly. Secure the other side before moving on. I chose this very fun fur from Etsy. I'll leave the link below because I had never seen it. And so I cut about a 3-inch piece, and I didn't even need to fold it in on itself because I don't know if it's great quality. It just basically curled up. So I am going to add a bit of hot glue here to secure the middle and to attach it to the gnome nose, or to the gnome body about 1/2 inch below. I made a gnome nose out of matching fabric and just glued that right on top. If you're new around here, I'm a huge fan of securing down the hat to the nose because it's the best part in my opinion, but I also secured down the back so it wouldn't go anywhere. Next up, we're gonna slide on his little sandals we made from foam, and you're done. Ooh-wee, he is ready for the water. You can get the patterns down below. I'll also leave links to the supplies. Let me know in that comment section, what do you think of him? I really appreciate you joining me. Like and subscribe for more crafty fun.